Hey, okay, welcome back to the Caribou Data Science channel. This is an impromptu Friday night session. We're going to continue to, as the title suggests, we're going to continue to do some exploratory data analysis using Slackware, Current, Linux, Python, IBIS, Quarto to produce the render documents, and of course Emacs to actually create the Quarto markdown document, as you can see in front of you here. Quarto is with Quarto not only can you create HTML, you can create PDFs, you can create two types of slideshows, and you can even create a dashboard, which we may even do this evening. The other thing is, let's take a quick look at our world in data documents, data. You go find out that almost all our world in data is formatted in the same way. It's a table. The first table column is going to be entity. This is the most important one because it could be a country, it could be a continent, it can be an income group, and it can even be the world itself. And you have one row for each entity for each year. Then you have a year column. This second column is used like an ISO code. The third column is year. Then you have one or more data columns going across. In this case, it's foreign aid received in billions of US dollars. Okay. So let's come back over to our main buffer over here real quick. And you can see that this is the YAML. This defines the title, the document type, and also the language being used. We pull in a few libraries: IBIS, of course, Pandas, Matplotlib, and Seaborn. Then we're using the IBIS read CSV function. Okay, this is the foreign aid received net. We're using the rename function to fix the column name headings. Then we're pulling our first actual data. We're going to pull the data that contains where the entity, you can see we're going to pull the rows where the entity contains the word incomes, and then we're converting it to a Pandas data frame. Then we're going to do a quick line plot, right? Entity, what gives us one row for each of the entities in the data, and this is our data frame. This is just a straight line plot from Seaborn. Okay. Then we cover another, and then we pull out all the rows where the entity contains the word America. So it's not only North and South America, it's the Americas, it's Central America, it's the Caribbean, a few places like that. Then we're going to have ChatGPT write us some IBIS code to pull out the continents, and finally we're going to do it with the world. Okay, but first let's just take a look at what we got right here so far. Use Quarto, render. And by default, it's going to create the document type defined in the YAML. By the way, YAML stands for yet another markup language. Okay, we'll come over here, render our document. Right. Let's see what happens. Oops. So what does this mean? Let's close that for a moment. Let's expand this out. The trouble is we're not inside the document. No, I shouldn't have to do this, but we'll do it anyway. So I'm also using Anaconda or Miniconda to create the environment and load the necessary packages. So it's running fine. Okay, so let's come over here now. Let's see what we got. So you can see what's nice is we actually create uh, we create we create two tables. You notice the table of contents. So this is the aid received by income group. You can see this Americas is the total, but the highest individual group belongs to the lower middle income countries. Now let's take a look at Americas. Again, this is Americas. So this is for the whole group, I guess. But the highest individual group is Central America Bank of Economic Integration. I'm not sure what that means. Let's try another one. Okay, so these are not. Let's see if we can find Central. So this is Central America. This is South. The slightly brown one is. I'm going to say is orange. What's the orange? So the highest individual Americas group is Caribbean and Central America, followed by the brown, which appears to be South America, and the green, which is Central America. Okay? So now we're going to come over here. We're going to ask over here. Pull the did I spell continent? I didn't spell continent right, did I? Let's come back over here. Terminal. Good. I didn't spell continent right. How come you didn't tell me I didn't spell continent right? Let's get rid of that. There. Okay. Meta W to no. Okay, good. So come over here now. What you do, you use the bracket, and I'll just mention that not only can you do it this way, but you can do this. Could be R, it could be Python, and I believe it could be Julia. All right. Oh, good. Yeah, because it's called aid filter, we don't have to change the code. So our objective here is to is to create a standard sort of a template to do all of our analysis of the our world in data sets, because like I said, all the data sets are is in, okay, use is in function, good. I'll mention here that what part of the code up, what this import does, it allows us to replace the data frame name with an underscore period. So this is passed as the A data frame name to this thing here. So what we're doing, we're building up a template to do exploratory data analysis with any R world and data set. All we have to do is replace the column names in the all we have to do is replace the column names with the okay. All we have to do with a new data set is simply replace the y-axis. Okay. All we got to do is replace the y-axis in the data name, and it'll create these plots for any. It should create these plots for. So let's see what happens. Now we'll come back later, and we'll add a few. We'll add a few like statistical analysis, like histograms or box plots for each of the values. We can come back and add that a little later on. Let's see. So let's come back over here. Now let's come over here. Oh, we got continents, but nothing showed up, did it? Oh, that's interesting. Not quite sure why that didn't work. Let's do this. What we'll do this. You know, it's possible that might not work because this isn't acting on a data this may not work because IBIS, it doesn't work on data frames, okay? So we may have to come back and put it back up here then. Let's do that. let's cut. Control W. Yeah, these IBIS functions don't use data frames, okay? So, continents, let's call this continents. Okay. Then we'll come back down here and we'll change right. Right, because the IBIS functions doesn't create a data frame, okay? Doesn't create a data frame. Right, because the filter is actually acting on this up here, which isn't a data frame, okay? So then we have to come down here also into we want to convert it to a data frame, right? And then if this works, we'll do a very quick one. Matter of fact, let's come up here. Let's go ahead and set our last filter here, okay? And we're going to change this to world. Now we could simply just right. So what we're doing is we filter the original. I think it's actually called an IBIS data frame or an IBIS table or something. I guess where the filters are running on the IBIS function on the IBIS database up here. Okay. Then we're converting after the filter. Then we're converting it to what? Then we're converting it to a pandas data frame. Then we're plotting. Okay. Then we're plotting. So let's come down here. Let's do this. Now, in the interest of full disclosure, there are keyboard shortcuts for this, which I don't know. I mean, to mark blocks and stuff like that. So this one's simply going to be okay. America's works. Well, these down here work then. I'll be a little surprised if this works the first time, but we'll see. Oh, an unexpected indent. So it almost ran, didn't it? You know, this setup actually works pretty good, doesn't it? Oh, This looks promising. So that works. The continent doesn't work. You know what it is, I bet? Are the continent names capitalized? Yeah, they are, aren't they? So let's try this. Let's try changing this. Well, let's just see. It may be that, oops, you want to do that. Here we go, okay. So the world works, okay. What we want to do is, we're going to come up here. Let's do this. Let's comment this out. It could be that so let's come back over here now. You know, my guess is, I'm going to make a stab here. And I'm going to say the problem is, maybe it's not capitalized. Now we could of course just use a function down there, right, to convert all these to lowercase, but we're not going to do that. Okay. Okay. Well, this is a cliffhanger section. This is a cliffhanger session here. This is a cliffhanger session. I'm gonna work on the continents offline. I'll be back on Sunday night. We'll go back. We'll add a few more things into this. A few like a box, maybe like a box plot and a histogram for the data, or maybe just some descriptive statistics. You know, IBIS has a nice description function which gives you, you know, the quantiles and the min maximums and the count. We might go back and include that, throw that into the part of the thing. Then eventually we'll come back, we'll go out and find another data set, and we'll test it with another data set. Okay, but anyway, so this is kind of where I'm going to leave you this evening here. All right, bring this brief session to a